This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and this is our Success Mentorship class number 178. Those of you on Facebook, thanks for joining us. Those of you on Instagram, oh, so many. Opulent 57, Black Man with Books. Okay, report. Okay, beautiful. Thanks so much for joining us today. Those of you on Instagram, on Facebook, beautiful. Thank you for joining us. And we have all of our members on Zoom. And for those of you who wonder what we do and how we do this on Saturday mornings, as we're doing our broadcast, we also have our membership group on Zoom. We have a full house today. And after the broadcast, we get a chance to discuss and share powerful information. Our topic for today is the 9 secrets of wealth building. Now, there are other secrets, but 9 secrets of wealth building. And I'll tell you how we arrived at them. And all of our teachings are based on our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. And if you don't have it, you need to get it, because this is the Super Achiever edition, where many people just like yourselves added their commentary about how this book had transformed their lives. It's available, of course, on Amazon and all of your digital bookstores, all of your different platforms. It's available on our own website, www.12uls. Now, let's get to work. Our topic for today is the 9 secrets of wealth building. And one of the keys about wealth building is that it's a mindset. It's clearly a mindset, how you think, how you feel, how you respond. So I love to always open with a quote. And the quote says this: building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. Discipline is the key ingredient. I'll say that again. Building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. Discipline is the key ingredient. I'm going to add another quote, and that says that wealth is a mindset. It's a way to think about your life and what you're doing. So as we normally do before we go into our message for today, we will do our meditation and just sit right up in your seat, put your feet flat on the floor, put your hands palm down on your knees, close your outer eyes, open your inner eyes of imagination and take a deep breath. Hold it. Let it out slowly. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Let it out slowly. And in this state of relaxation, I am at peace with myself. Let us affirm this together. I am at peace with myself. Let that peace sink in. Affirm it one more time. I am at peace with myself. Take a deep breath. Hold. Let it out slowly. And in this state of peace and relaxation, my mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let us say that together. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Once more. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. All right. Woo! I love it, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. I see the house is filling up. Kian Fresh, JC from Barbados, thanks for joining us today. Dr. Mansa Musa, all right. Thanks for joining us today. Wow, people are showing up. Beautiful. Let's see, we have some other folks in our waiting room. Okay, everybody's here. So last week, we talked about updating your plan, updating your success plan. And the first ingredient, the first step one in updating your success plan was to solve the riddle of survival. And what we're really saying is that as long as we are so focused on generating the means to satisfy the material requirements of our lives, as long as we are hustling to eat, to sleep, to have a place, to take care of our families, to take care of our lives, to take care of our health and our education, as long as we're striving to do that, that energy to help us survive can literally suck away the energy available to help us follow our dreams. And so step one is that we really must solve this riddle of survival, and we must figure out a way to provide for the material resources of our lives, to provide the things we need for us and our families, to then give us the freedom to go for it, to do what we have to do. And the interesting thing about this, there's some people that can be so totally committed. I like to think of Tyler Perry, who's so totally committed to his dream that he's willing to give everything. He say, I'm willing to sleep in my car. I'm willing to be homeless to pursue my dreams. That's extreme, but it's effective. Okay, because that's like do or die. I think most of us, though, who have families and have obligations and at this point in our lives, we can't really do or die like that. So we have to figure out a way to solve the riddle of survival. And beyond survival, to think about thrival. You see, whatever you seek, you get. If you seek survival, you get survival. But if you seek thrival, what do I have to do to live an abundant life, a happy life, a life full of all the things I desire and all the things I love? We notice that some people go from crisis to crisis, from failure to failure. That whatever's going in the world, going on in the world can take them down. And then there are other people that no matter what is going on, somehow they're always able to come out on top. I guess like a cat, they always end up on their feet. No matter whether the stock market is going up or down, the economy, they always find a way to thrive. So what is it that they do to make this happen? Many times crisis, we just come through a pandemic, and many times a crisis can be just what we need to set us free. In the biblical allegory, when Paul and Silas are in the prison, an earthquake shakes and springs the door open. Well, many times we can be in a prison of our own minds, and a crisis makes us come out of it. A crisis makes us say, we got to do this. When your back is against the wall, you create miracles. I guarantee you, everybody who's on this call, on this video, on this program today, that when your back has been against the wall, when failure was not an option, you made it happen. My dad used to say, when stuff gets tough, you got to straighten up and fly right. Quote from Herbert Harris Sr. When stuff gets tough, you got to straighten up and fly right. And for many years, I couldn't figure out what he meant. But what he meant was straighten up means you got to know where you're going. You have to have a clear definition of what you want to be, do, and have. And fly right, you have to have a plan to get there. So today we're going to straighten up and fly right. And really seeking the answer, all of us have our own methods of doing things. One of the things I loved about Napoleon Hill was he took the time to learn the clues. You see, success leaves clues. Well, so does failure. Okay, life leaves clues. He interviewed hundreds and hundreds of very wealthy people to develop his Think and Grow Rich. We interviewed over my podcast and over the years, talked to people who seem to always come out on top, no matter what. And in talking to them and in interviewing them, I've really arrived at 9, I'll call them secrets, but they're not secrets. They're really spiritual principles. You see, our posture says that success is a spiritual experience. Success is a continuous realization of your worthwhile purpose. And so if you want to create wealth, it's really about creating a vibration, creating a wealth building mindset so that you can then become congruent with that wealth building mindset to attract wealth into your life. You know, the law of attraction, we've spent a lot of time talking about the law of attraction, that you don't seek wealth, you attract wealth. Well, the law of attraction is just a part of it, but it's all about what must I do within me to create a vibration that attracts into my space, into my life, that I need so that I can thrive and live an abundant life. That's really the question. So the 9 secrets. Number 1, take responsibility for your life and affairs. Take responsibility for your life and affairs. If you don't take responsibility for it, you can't fix it. That wherever you are right now, be it good, bad, or indifferent, you did it. And you see, once you accept responsibility for it, you can work on it. See, there's certain contradictory thoughts. Excuses and success cannot have both. You cannot make excuses and have success. Blame and success. You cannot have both. You can't blame other people for your situation. You can't blame the world for your situation. The key to wealth building, that first step is to say, I am responsible for my life and affairs. Now, what this says is this: there are things that happen. The external world goes on and does what it does. But you have the God-given power of how you respond to it. The scripture says, choose this day whom you will serve. So you can look at a crisis as a blow, a knockout blow to take you out. Or you can look at crisis as an opportunity. You know, the Greek derivation, crisis and opportunity have a very similar root. It's like a door, you know. And so in every crisis is an opportunity. So when challenges present yourself, look at it as an opportunity for growth. So that's step 1 to creating the wealth, to creating the person that you want to be, to live that life of thriver, is to take responsibility for your life and affairs. Choose this day whom you will serve. Don't blame others. Don't make excuses. If it's to be, it's up to me. That's a powerful affirmation. I'll say it again. If it's to be, it's up to me. You may want to write this in the comments and write it in your mind, because during the day, during your life, situations are going to come about, confrontations, and you're going to say that mantra in your head. If it's to be, it's up to me. If I need to walk over these hot coals, I'll walk over these hot coals. If I need to face a giant in my life, let me find a rock and knock him out. If it's to be, it's up to me. The second secret of wealth building is to realize that everything begins in thought, in your mind, in the dual aspects of your mind. The first law of success says, a mind shall have whatsoever it thinks in its heart. A mind shall have whatsoever it thinks in its heart. Thank you, Opulent, for that affirmation. Thank you, Dr. Mansa Musa. If it's to be, it's up to me. And so when we realize that wealth is a mindset, when we think it and we have feelings congruent with the thought, we call that walking in the path. Welcome, Dr. Kenya Cooks, my favorite physical trainer. Between Dr. Crooks and JC Myers down in Barbados, I'm gonna get myself in shape just hanging out with virtual push-ups. So let's look at this now. The mindset, the thoughts you have must be congruent with the feelings. So we can talk wealth. There are a lot of people who talk wealth, but you have to feel wealth. So one of the keys of creating wealth is to feel wealthy inside, to get into the consciousness of it. Principle says, seek first the consciousness, and all these things will be added unto you. So consciousness is the awareness and the identity with that you're seeking. So you must feel worthy of the wealth you're seeking. One of the things that undermines our efforts is when we are walking in the path, we're saying, I want to be rich. But inside we have a feeling of inadequacy. We have doubt that we can accomplish it. We don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe in our process. We look at our back. You know, there's a reason why the rear view mirror is smaller than the windshield. Sometimes we spend our lives looking at the rear view mirror, thinking of all the things that didn't work, all the failures, all the bad relationships, and that limits our ability to go forward. So we have to have an expansive mindset where we see what we want and where we feel deserving of what we want. So when we are faced with a crisis, we feel inside, hey, if it's to be, it's up to me. What is the good lesson to be learned from this? What is the benefit to be determined from this? You see, the scripture says, seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be open, ask and it shall be answered. So we progress along our wealth journey by asking the right questions and creating that feeling of worthiness inside. The third key, the third secret, you must have a vision. We know the principle. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Where you have no vision, you fail. When you have no vision, you're like a GPS with no destination plugged in. It's just sitting there on the dashboard looking at you. Ain't worth nothing. You can't go anywhere because you have no vision, no goals. So that third key to wealth building is you must have a vision of how you want your life to be. And even further, you have to write that vision. The Habakkuk says, write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. Though it may carry weight for it, it will surely come to pass. The fact that you have a vision, the fact that you write that vision down means that you have put a spiritual vibration into creating the magnetism to attract the object of that vision into your life. When you write it down, when you focus on the vision, this gives you a direction to keep you from being distracted by lack, by limitations, by false thoughts, by negative emotions. You see, when you can focus on that vision, then you can make your thoughts congruent with it. You know, we said fly right. You can make your emotions congruent with that vision. You can make your habits congruent with that vision. And very importantly, you can make your associations congruent with that vision. So when we say, I want to create wealth, we must take some time to sit down and really get a picture of what that is, what that means for you. I often tell the story of one of my trainers, and we were asking, you know, what are your goals, Herbert? What do you want to be? You know, I'm a network marketer, and he said, what's your goal in this business? And my goal for years in network marketing, I wanted to make $100,000 a month. That was my goal. And my teacher said, why not $1 million a month? And I stopped for a minute. And I realized I had never thought that because I did not have a vision of what my life would be like making $1 million a month. I had a vision of making $100,000 a month. I kind of got that. But I had no idea what my life would be like making $1 million a month. And so I challenge each and every one of you. that if you want to create wealth, then you have to develop a vision of that wealth, not just a vision, but a sensory vision of that wealth, of how your life is going to be, who you're going to be with, where you're going to live, how you're going to feel, how your family going to relate to you, what are you going to drive. In other words, it's like filling in this picture. We often do dream boards and those parties where you draw your dreams. We're in our exercise, in our seminars, we used to do a draw your dreams exercise to try to give you a vision. The more time you put into creating that vision of what wealth means to you, the more powerful you become in attracting that wealth into your life experience. Number 4. Make the necessary changes in your life. You see, once we've taken responsibility and realized, it begins in thoughts, and once you've written that vision, then now you have a vision, you have the goals, and now you can look at your life in a very critical way and say, well, what am I doing that's not compatible with where I want to go? What thoughts must I change now to take me to that place of thrival, of abundance? So maybe I need to change my words. The third law of success, the fourth law of success, the law of command is like you speak your world into existence. So maybe you need to put a watch on your mouth to stop saying negative things. To start, always say the positive. That whatever it is, always see it from that positive perspective. Maybe you need to put a watch on your feelings. So many of our feelings were developed in our early age, and we may not know how to totally handle them. So now give yourself the time to adjust those feelings so that they are compatible with what you want. Your habits. We have the same number of hours in a day, so how we utilize those hours determines the level of success that we achieve. And so we have to develop habits that maximize the use of our time. So you can't chill anymore. Don't be chilling, be billing. That's pretty good. If you're doing something, send some bills out. Get paid. And most of all, make those changes in your association. Because the people who are around you can either lift you up or pull you down. They can be the wind beneath your wings or the anchors on your feet. Wow. Number 5, build a team. You see, there are so many spiritual principles. The mastermind principle says when 2 or more gather on one accord, I am among them. When 2 or more gather on one accord, you have access to a certain level of power that you may not have by yourself. You see, your ego can open the door or close the door. If you think you're the only one with the answers, you literally close out the right answer. Somebody else has answers. There are other people that have been where you want to go, that have done what you want to do. So build a team. Surround yourself with people who've been where you want to go. Surround yourself with people who have faced those challenges and gotten there and overcome. I'm not a person, I've never wanted to fly a plane, but if I wanted to fly a plane, I'm going to take lessons from Sullenberger. I'm going to take lessons from somebody who's flown and crashed and flown again. So when you build that team, you get counsel from them. And not so much that you give up your direction, your leadership, but the idea is that when 2 or more minds are gathered, there's a harmonic created where 1 + 1 is more than 2. So surround yourself with people who are congruent with where you want to be, as opposed to congruent with where you are. Everybody get that? That's what networking is about. George Fraser, the great networker, says, hang around the people you want to be like. Listen to people who you would exchange your life for theirs. And you say, well, man, they're living really good. They're looking good. I think I can live with like that. I could be happy like that. Once you have developed that team, the sixth secret is to develop a written plan. You see, the written plan, the Habakkuk again says, write the vision that he may run that readeth it. When you have a written plan now, you have a track to run on. Now everything fits together. Plans are the fingers of fate, and actions are the feet of fate. So the things you plan to accomplish, give yourself direction. The things that you do will take you there. Once you have that plan, once you have it written, once you have gotten together with your team, you see, your team can help you make that plan more viable. When you look back on the great ones, I love studying the life of the guy who founded Apple, Steve Jobs. If you look from the very beginning, when Steve Jobs got together with Steve Wozniak, from the very beginning, he always put a team together, people who could do what needed to be done. Success leaves clues. That's something critical. Put that team together. If you're the one with all the information, you got a tricky situation. Once you have that team and then you build that plan, the plan now is you might say a collective, which is better than what you could have done by yourself, better than that any of them could individually have done themselves, but it's a power plan that works and can take you where you want to go. The seventh secret is to take continuous action on a daily basis. When we act on a daily basis, there's a reason why the sun comes up every day and goes down every night. There are patterns, there are rhythms. You know, scripture says, to everything is a season. And so in your life, there's always a season of how you do things. And so what you must do is now continuous action. When you take continuous action, every day you live a day with commitment and passion for the realization of your goals. Every day is a new day for sharing, and you approach it that way. Every day is a new opportunity to get better. Don't stop for rest and reward. When you stop pursuing wealth, I don't mean you just be obsessed totally, but I'm saying don't stop for rest and reward. Once you have your plan, hold yourself to the plan. Keep your feet to the fire. Success and achievement come only through continuous work. The only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. As you take that continuous action, the eighth secret is to monitor your progress. This is critical. You see, when you monitor your progress, and when I say monitor it, I mean monitor it on a daily basis, then you now have responsibility and have the power to make the necessary changes and adjustments to be able to fly right, to get where you want to go in the most efficient way. When you monitor your progress on a daily basis and you make your list of things to do in your plan, and when you see you're out of 10 things, you're only getting 4 or 5 done, then you say, what do I have to do now? You never want to lower your goal. You maybe want to increase your activity level. So maybe I need to get up 2 hours earlier. Maybe I need to cut out the TV. There's no, in network marketing, we used to say there's no PV and TV. That the whole idea of monitoring your progress now gives you the ability to make those adjustments on a daily basis. See, life is about numbers. It's about the averages. If you operate on a daily basis, then at the end of each day, you can now make adjustments to make tomorrow a better day. But if you don't operate on a daily basis and monitor your progress, you wait to the end of the week to monitor the progress, you can be too far behind. You see? If you wait to the end of the month to monitor your progress, you can be way behind. And so by that daily monitoring of your progress on your success journey, on your wealth building initiative, you are able to make those adjustments now to bring about desired results. And then finally, number 9, keep going and growing. You see, when people quit, there are a lot of people that quit, like one more blow and they could have won. One more step and they could have achieved the success they were seeking. If you don't keep growing, you will keep going through whatever you're going through. So all of us are going through situations. All of us have things going on in our lives. If we don't grow through those things, we don't look at the thing and say, okay, on a daily basis, I need to give more time. I need to be clear about my activity list. I need to plan my day the night before. See, if there's one secret to success, when you plan your day the night before, your subconscious mind starts working on it while you're sleeping. It's weird. You come out that next day firing. If you don't plan your day the night before and write it down, you're going to lose 2 hours just trying to figure out what to do. So to keep going and growing, you become congruent with the principle of results. Seek, and you shall find. Ask, and it shall be answered. Knock, and it shall be opened. So when you keep going and growing, you keep seeking. Seek first the consciousness, and let me understand what it is that I'm trying to accomplish a little bit better. Asking the right questions to the right people. Let me get guidance. When we can continue to do that, then we can truly create the wealth that we desire. There are many of us listening today at different points in our lives, different ages. Don't worry about that. It's never too late. Warren Buffett said that he made the bulk of his money after the age of 50. It took him 50 years to figure out how to do it. So as we look at where we're going right now with this year and how we achieve the things we want, let us look at our lives now with the possibility. I can't change the past, but I can certainly create a new ending. I can always make a new beginning right now. And so it is with this mindset that we'll review these 9 secrets to help you go from where you are to where you want to be. To help you solve the riddle of survival once and for all, so that then the wealth that you create becomes the wind beneath your wings to fly you to your goals, your vision, and your purpose. So number 1, take responsibility for your life and affairs. Blame and excuses are incompatible concepts with results, with success. Number 2, realize that everything begins in thought. So where you think and what you feel is what you become. Earl Nightingale says, I become what I think about most of the time. Number 3, write your vision, detail and sensory, so that you can feel it, so that you can touch it. Get an understanding of what wealth means to you. Wealth is personal. Another person's wealth is not your definition of wealth. So write the vision, the personal vision of what your wealth means to you, not just the description, but how it's going to feel when you get there. 4, be committed to make the necessary changes. Einstein said that doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. So once you've made this commitment to build wealth, you have to make the necessary changes in your thinking, your emotions, your habits, and your relationships that are congruent with where you want to go. Number 5, surround yourself with people smarter than you. If you're the smartest person in the group, go to another group. My friend David told me he just joined the country club. I'm like, man, why'd you do that? He says, because I want to be around rich people. I want to be around people that can help me go to my next level. He's a golfer. So surround yourself with people who uplift you, who honor you, who can teach you. 6, develop that written plan. Put time into it. That plan should be so detailed that all you have to do is follow it. When you have a recipe book, when you're making a cake or making a roast and you follow that recipe, you don't have to wonder how many spoons of this, how many tips of that. You follow the recipe. Develop your written plan and follow it diligently. Secret 7, take continuous action on a daily basis. Take a checkup from the neck up and the heart down every day, and looking at the results you're getting in your life. Secret number 8, monitor your progress. You got to keep score. You know, in network marketing, we often say accountability is really what it's all about. One of the great things about having a group is you can be accountable to each other. When you put that team together, it's hard to lie to yourself, but it's even harder to lie to your friends and the people who believe in you. So monitor your progress. And finally, be committed to keep going and growing. The true success is an evolutionary process, that you're always on this path of growth. It's a never-ending step. You never get there because you were created for such a magnificent purpose and such a magnificent destiny that the essence of life is to grow. Wealth is just a part of it. Wealth gives you the freedom now to grow in each and every regard. When you can follow these 6 secrets, then you can create in your life the wealth, the health, the success, the joy, the happiness, the abundance, the money that you deserve and you desire in your lifetime. So it is. Whew. Thank you so much for being with us today. Take this lesson, listen to it over and over. These secrets can take you from where you are to where you want to be. As usual, I remind you to be sure to get your copy of the 12 Universal Laws of Success at Amazon, on any site. If you buy it on any site, send me a copy of the receipt and we'll send you the free audio book, or go to our website, www.12uls. At the end of each broadcast, I always give each of you the opportunity. Sometimes you need to do something to confirm your knowledge, and always give an opportunity to send to our Cash App, $ Herbie Man, $HERBYMAN. If that's your need, sometimes you need to do that. Then send that, whatever you feel is appropriate, to the Cash App, $ Herbie Man. Thank you once again for being with us today, for helping us realize that each of us has the collective power to be whatever we want to be, do whatever we want to do, and have whatever we want to have, always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Whew. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me give you the opportunity to unmute yourselves. Whew.
Good morning, Dr. Harris.
Good morning, Dr. Bray. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you for that lovely message this morning, filled with reminders to pay attention to life and then be willing to address those things that I see as a way to make 30 days, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years richer and better. one of the things I noticed is I only heard you mention the things you want to have, and it seemed like it was almost a little note thrown in on the side. That it's who you get to be in life that just makes such a tremendous difference, and what you get to do in ways that you get to serve. Because when it comes down to the end, none of this, almost nothing that we acquire leaves, not nothing, nothing leaves with us.
Mm,
And so it has really helped to just stay mindful. What you are and what you do is what will make all the difference, not what you have, because you don't take it with
mm. Wow.
you. You get to
Thank you,
enjoy
Dr.
it for
Bray.
a few minutes.
Thank you. Wow.
Welcome.
Powerful. Other thoughts, feedback.
Just such a powerful message. Ooh, I'm back. I was asleep this morning, but I woke up now.
Thank you, Lorenzo.
I mean, all the things you said, you can't blame nobody for your failures. You can't, and you need to take responsibility for your own actions.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. That's a profound realization, I tell you.
Yes.
It's a freeing, it really helps you get free, Thank you so much, Lorenzo, for that insight. Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Harris and group.
Good morning, Mary. How are you today?
Great.
Doing fine. I had the realization as Lorenzo did about taking responsibilities for your life and your affairs, letting the past be the past, but moving forward to the future and where you currently are. You're the person who's responsible, who makes the decisions. The other thing that you reminded me is that it's all in our mind. We are what we say we are, or what we plan to be, as long as we keep that focus. You briefly touched on feelings. And that's one of the things I always tell when I'm talking to clients with businesses or anything else. What do you feel about this? Because your feelings also are a guide to where you need to go. If your feelings are strong enough and deep enough, and your desire goes with that feeling, then you're more likely to succeed in what you're looking at doing. But if you're just, it's all right, I guess I can do it. It's not really what I want to do, but I don't have any other choice. Then in a sense, that's what you're going to get, lukewarm, whatever you're doing.
Yes. Wow.
So I thought that was important to remember, that the feelings really do count. And your thoughts connected to that feeling is important.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Woo. Yes, yes, yes.
Dr. Harris, may I ask Lorenzo to repeat the thing that stood out for him, please?
Yes, go right ahead, Lorenzo.
Yes, I mentioned that you can't blame others for your miscomings, and you need to be accountable for your own actions and your challenges. You can't, I can't do this because this other person didn't give me what I needed or whatever. You have to go and seek it and find it.
Great. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning,
Good
Dawn.
morning,
How are
Dawn.
you? Feeling a lot better. Was a bit home to do weather for the last couple of weeks, but feeling a lot better today. Hope everyone is doing well.
Yes, yes.
I was really listening to you, Dr. Harris, and I was here making some notes. And, you always ask yourself, if certain things were, I don't want to use the word easy, but why is it that so many people do not do what is necessary to accomplish the things they say they want? you know, and I know one of them for sure is limiting beliefs, but one of the things I've realized recently, and is part of my own experience, is that you place yourself obviously in a situation or surround yourself with people that have been where you want to go, or are aspiring to do that. But knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is very important, and I'll tell you why. A simple situation I had this morning of figuring out, how do I do an Instagram video with a caption? And I've had a phone for years. I've had an Instagram account for several years now as well. And I recognize there's information, but there's a difference between having information and knowing how to utilize that information for your benefit and for maximum result. Now, that information was always there. I did not have the understanding and the wisdom to utilize that information to get the result that I wanted. And I realized this morning when I figured it out, that, oh my gosh, it's a simple, simple thing. And I think the Spirit was saying to me, that's where a lot of people have challenges. Many people, they say they want stuff, and I believe some people in their heart of hearts really do, but they don't know the how to. They do not have the wisdom or the understanding to use what they have to create what they need or what they want.
Yes.
That's one of the struggles I've had for many, many years. I knew what I wanted. I had a vision, but I just didn't know how to utilize the resources I had to get it. So I think that's critical as well in people achieving their success, and whatever that is, whether it's be money in the bank or whatever, because as you said, it's very personal.
Yes.
But gaining the wisdom and understanding and knowledge that is necessary, and that's why you have to put yourself in. You have to position yourself with people, and at our church we call them your destiny partners. You really have to pray and ask God to align you with destiny partners that can help you accomplish the thing that you really want to accomplish, or whatever your purpose is.
Wow. I like that term, destiny partners.
Yep.
Wow. Dawn, as you was talking, I was thinking back, and one of the things I liked about Tony Robbins, he was talking about a shift, the pattern interrupt, how we get into doing the same thing and having the same outcome. And he used to say, and I'll use the example, for years I was a songwriter, but I never sang my own songs because I didn't think I could sing. And after I really listened to Tony one day, he said, if you could sing, how would you sound? And that was like a breakthrough, because then next thing I know is, I can be what I want to be and do what I want to do. I'm singing. And it was like, man, how did that happen? But that's the power we have to make that shift from what I don't have to, if I did know. It's almost like it opens up the mind. And so it's a good tool to use whenever we're confronted with situations where we don't know. Then let the mind, well, if I did know, what would I do? If I did know how to save money, what would I do? If I did know how to sing, what would I do? If I did know how to drive, what would I do? And it's amazing. It opens up a channel to really that infinite wisdom that can transform us. So thank you for tipping that, Donna. Yes, Tyrone, go right ahead. How are you today?
Wonderful. Peace and blessings. And good morning to you, Brother Dr. Herbert, and all of our associates on the line. Yes, what really stood out to me this morning was when you mentioned the difference of surviving and thriving. I think that is really where in life, you really don't have too many different camps. Either you're going to be here or you're going to be there. Either you're going to be up or you're going to be, it's like a choice, but it's where you place yourself. And I looked up the word survive, and it said to remain alive or existent. Well, self-preservation is the first law of life. And of course, like you mentioned, all we have to do is eat and sleep and do the basics and we can stay alive. But thriving is on a whole nother level. Thriving is defined as to grow luxuriantly, to flourish, to gain in wealth or possessions, to prosper. So, you know, in our world, especially, I'm a network marketer as well. And I'll finish with this. Now we've seen what happened with the president saying that so many people will be forced to do one thing or another to make their money. I've been in network marketing 14 years, but the fact that I'm still going and growing, it could be a landmine of people coming to me and us, because now a lot of people are going to be forced to see another way or to do things financially. So, and let me ask you, what was number one? What was the number one that you mentioned?
Number one, take responsibility for your life and affairs.
Okay, and number two?
And number two, realize that everything begins in thought.
All right, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Tyrone, thank you. Other feedback, questions, thoughts? Hey, Miss Sandra, I see your line is open.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you today?
Great, great. All of the comments were phenomenal that have been mentioned already, but I would like to piggyback on, excuse me, on the idea of ingredients, that a cake cannot be made without ingredients. And the same thing with prospering in life or saving, or saving money. It's a process. A cake and the recipe is given to flour, sugar, eggs, what have you. But saving is the same way. It can be accumulated, but you must follow the accumulative process. And sometimes it might be long term. That repetition in terms of savings can make money for you, because many of us do not have money to invest to begin with. But pinching off that small amount each month or each payday for 20 or 25 years can build that cash flow that you will have when you become retired, because many people are retiring now with no retirement pension, because years ago people didn't have retirement and they're living off Social Security today, which is tough to live off of. So I would say, if you have an opportunity to teach young people, teach them that the ingredient to saving is repetition. Save it constantly on a number of years until you get to the retirement age, or whatever. You might want a business that you're saving money for, but it must be repetitive ingredients that you're going to put into this pot to reach your goal in the future.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sandra. Thank you. Let's see, we haven't heard from Clara. How are you today?
I'm sitting here drinking from the fountain, listening attentively and allowing the power, the instructions to infuse my mind and my spirit. And so much is coming forth, so many ideas are flooding my mind now as to this needs to be showered on our nation. You know, this is a school for a new direction in building back better. Because what you've shared, and as I've been listening to, not just today, but the other sessions, there's so much that gets in our way that causes us to become obstructionists. And without a healthy direction, a spiritual direction, because we are spiritual beings first, and we operate like what we see, my color, your color, and everybody else's, and what they have, all of that is going to determine where we're going to end up, but it's going to be in the black hole. It can't produce good results. And it's so counterproductive. We're wasting time that we don't have. And I just see how critical this moment is for us to be still and take stock of where we are. And be in a position to become enlightened so we can go forth and do better, because we are in a hell of a mess. And it's, oh, folks, it behooves us to stop doing what we're doing and pay attention, because it can't get us over the finish line.
Yes. Wow.
And that term, more life to all, no less to none, that has just, that concept, that idea has become so, it has a route, a good route to grandma's house in my soul, in my spirit, that when we look out for all, we are just in a better position to maintain a course that's going to help us get cross the finish line.
Yes. Yes. Wow.
And I can't just be concerned with me, my foe, and no more. There has to be a collective consciousness. We are here to serve. And it's just so powerful and so critical that we allow ourselves to get the essence of what life it really is.
Yes. Yes.
Say, keep going, keep growing.
Yes. Keep
going, keep growing. Keep doing the right thing for the right reasons. This thing about, I'm getting emotional now, and it's just so much we can do.
Yes, Pat. Yes. We can do it. We can do it. We understand. Wow. Thank you so much, Clara. That I could feel you. And it's almost like we are, you said something when you say grandma's house. You know, grandma has so many meanings to us, a place of security, a place of understanding, a place of wisdom. You know, grandma's house, that my daddy, that straighten up and fly right. That's one of them grandma house sayings, you know, and we go back to that, you know, you know, sometimes when people are lost, the best thing, if you're lost, go back to where the last time you weren't lost. You know, so you don't have to, if you're lost, then you need to connect with when you were not lost before, because loss is like a state of unknowing, a state of uncertainty. And it's like a disconnection. You know, when you, one of the things I think about swimming in a big body of water, when you get out there and you can't see land and you don't know which way to swim. You know, that's the scary thing. You know, when people, there was a fellow who got caught in a rip tide and it took him so far out, he could not figure out which way to swim. And so, but in his consciousness, he said, well, the sun, I know I'm on the East Coast, the sun sets in the West, so I'm gonna follow the sun. Okay. And so we go back to what we know, was it terra firma? When the last time we were on solid ground, what did we think? What did we feel? And build from there. And the connections that we just shared, Clara, and this communion today, is really that kind of solid ground. I think all of us will leave here today with another sense of purpose, another sense of if it's to be, it's up to me. Doesn't take but one person, you know, each of us do what we can do with who we can do it with to the extent that we're able to do it. And eventually we create a harmonic vibration that all of a sudden, just like in the last 2 years under this last administration, it seems like everybody got really, really stupid. Okay, the things, people are doing stuff that doesn't even make bad sense. Forget good sense. I mean, doesn't even make bad sense. But just as the negative vibration can happen, the positive vibration can happen too. You have those times when a Dr. King came along, when a person came along who embodied a thought and embodied a vibration, and everybody fell in line. And so it's a spiritual principle. Like there's somebody's got to lead you out of darkness, a Moses principle. And once somebody's made that statement and made that declaration with faith and start moving, then the world gets behind them. And so each of us is a Moses. And when we do what we know should be done, we will impact a certain number of people. And as it spreads, all of a sudden, it's like critical mass. All of a sudden, people get smarter. They become more loving. We've seen those periods. I remember the 60s when people had a love in. When white and black, and I think it scared the world when I was at Woodstock.
Go ahead.
Color never came up.
Right.
People were sitting there listening to Jimi Hendrix,
Janis Joplin.
You know, it didn't matter. I mean, it was the most beautiful thing, and you could not have that today.
Come on now.
At this moment, you know, you can't even have a good hate in.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so we are really the emissaries of a new movement. We just have to keep moving as we're on Tyrone and network marketing. People are going to be looking for alternatives because
that's right.
This pandemic has let people know, like, man, I've been working on this job all my life, and this is all I got.
Ooh, and kick you out the door. Come on,
out the door. You know, like I thought they cared about me.
Right.
They didn't care about me. All they wanted me to show up for them, for their purpose, you know?
Right.
They only paid me just enough to keep me from quitting. Wow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, folks, we've had a great day today. This has really been a transformational session. Everybody seems to be that vibration is there.
Yes, sir.
And I'm just honored to be a part of it. So any closing thoughts, our final words, so we can wrap up this morning?
Show up.
What was it, Clara?
What about let's be, with God's help,
Yes.
show up for that incredible, that magnificent creature that he designed us to be. And I believe that there is something about the power of that move.
Yes.
That will galvanize others to move with you.
Yes. I love that. Thank you, Clara.
Yeah.
Show up for you.
The best you that you can be.
Woo! All right.
And I think it's something freeing in that.
Yes.
You have to, you free yourself and you free others.
Yes.
And I just believe the universe will serve us so much better.
Yes. Yes. Wow.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, Clara. Yes, Dr. Bray, a final word. Are you raising your hand? Yes. Any other final words? Okay. So thank you for those final words, Clara. I think you capped us off, and you as they say, you're going to send us home so we can straighten up and fly
right.
And that King Cole.
That's right. All right, everyone. Let's close out in our normal way as we say together. The best
The
best
is yet to
Is
come.
yet to
is
come.
yet to
to
come.
come.
Oh,
so it
praise.
is.
Yes,
God
sir.
bless all of you and please stay safe.
I will.
Likewise.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Be blessed
Likewise.
all.
Be
Bye-bye.
blessed.
Have a great day.
Thank you for your contributions.
Thank you.
Same to you.
Peace.